Hello, everybody. I'd like to go ahead and call to order our Richland County Recreation meeting for the month of April, April 21, 2025. So I'd like to go ahead and call the meeting to order. So first item is to adopt the agenda. So can I get a motion for
I'll
that?
make a motion to adopt the agenda.
Second.
Be first, Chair.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. I rescind that. So we have special recognition. So let me read what I'm supposed to say. Tonight we have special recognition. These recognitions will be done by Lisa Lewis, our foundation director, Commissioner Donzetta Lindsay, Commissioner James Mobley, Commissioner Hamilton Jacobs, Commissioner Tim Christensen, and Commissioner Chris Anderson. Ms. Lewis will be recognizing Richland County High School Player of the Year.
Excuse me. Good evening, Commissioners. Please welcome Lauren Jacobs, the winner of the Richland County High School Player of the Year for girls basketball and a standout point guard for Heathwood Hall. Lauren's basketball journey began at just 7 years old, inspired and coached by her mother, a former high school, college, and professional basketball player. Her early experiences playing in Richland County gyms, including Meadow Lake and Kaufman Road, helped shape her into a confident, resilient competitor. Whether it was rising to the challenges in co-ed leagues or hitting game-winning shots, Lauren embraced every opportunity to grow through the sport. Influenced by strong female role models, her mother, sister, and grandmother, Lauren draws strength from her family's legacy of perseverance and service. Beyond basketball, she actively volunteers with Homeworks to support elderly residents and cherishes quality time with her loved ones. Committed to both athletic and academic excellence, Lauren has accepted a basketball scholarship to Ole Miss, where she plans to study physical therapy and advocate for equitable opportunities for girls in sports. Let's give Lauren a round of applause. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3.
All right. So Commissioner Lindsay will be recognizing the Blythewood High School girls.
Good evening, everyone. I understand that the girls, I'm disappointed they weren't able to make it this afternoon, but we still want to recognize them. She's not a girl.
Are you the girls? And so which team is this? Ridgeview?
Yeah.
All right, so hold on, let Donzetta finish her statement.
Thank
please,
you.
And then we'll get to
It's
Ridgeview.
obvious these aren't the girls, but in their absence, we want to recognize the Blythewood High School Girls State Champions, the South Carolina High School League Class 5A Division Champions, in recognition of their exemplary performance, determination, dedication, and team sportsmanship. This is given the 21st day of April, 2025. Presentation by the Richland County Recreation Commission, Board of Commissioners, and Executive Director Taurus Lewis. Congratulations.
All right, so next, I think we'll skip, James will come up next, but right now we'll do Hamilton Jacobs. You guys are Ridgeview, right? All right, cool. Ridgeview High School.
All right, I'm gonna read what is on the plaque for these young men. This certificate of recognition presented to Ridgeview High School boys state champions, the school high school league class 5A Division I champions, in recognition of exemplary performance, determination, dedication, and team sportsmanship, given this 21st day of April 2025, presented by Richland County Recreation Commission, Board of Commissioners, and Executive Director Taurus Lewis. And it says, talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence wins championships. And that's a quote from Michael Jordan. And I just want to say these guys are actually back-to-back state championship. We're going to see if they three-peat next year, but definitely proud of all of them, as most of everyone that's standing up there have a personal relationship with. So congratulations, gentlemen, and keep doing what you're doing.
You guys want to get a picture?
Yes.
How we gonna get one? We gonna get in the back. Oh, we stand behind it. Have to be propped up, that's for sure.
Shit, okay. You need to stand on this chair.
Yeah, propped up. That's Come on. Congratulations, guys.
One, two, three. One, two, three. One more. One, two, three.
Big man.
I'll introduce you.
I used to be told.
Okay, next, we have Commissioner James Mobley recognizing Keenan High School boys.
Good, right?
Well, I went to Keenan
How long ago was that?
many moons ago. All right. This certificate of recognition presented to Keenan High School Boys State Champions, South Carolina High School League, Class 3A Division Champions, in recognition of exemplary performance, determination, dedication, and team sportsmanship, given this 21st day of April 2025, presented by the Richland County Recreation Commission Board of Commissioners and Executive Director Taurus Lewis. Congratulations.
One, two, three. One, two, three. One more. One, two, three.
Yeah.
Christensen.
All right, next up, we have recognizing the Richland County Recreation Commission 12 and under girls, state champions.
All these people. That's their parents.
Oh, sweet.
Congratulations, girls. This is a certificate of recognition presented to the RCRC State Champions, 12U Girls, Central District, and SC State Champions, in recognition of exemplary performance, determination, dedication, and team sportsmanship, given this 21st day of April, 2025, presented by Richland County Recreation Commission, Board of Commissioners, and Executive Director Taurus Lewis. The strength of the team is each individual player. The strength of each member is the team. That's a quote by Phil Jackson. Congratulations, girls.
One, two, three. One more, one, two, three.
I'm laughing, no, it's full. You're fine, yeah.
All right. So now we have Commissioner Christopher Anderson recognizing the 14 and under boys. State champs.
Oh, yeah.
In a second, we'll do that. All right. Once again, we have Commissioner Christopher Anderson recognizing the 14 under boys.
Parents, come on. My honor to recognize the 1400 boys as state champions. Certificate of recognition presented to RCRC state champions, 4U boys, Central District and state champions. In recognition of exemplary performance, determination, dedication, and team sportsmanship, given this 21st day of April, 2025, presented by Richland County Recreation Commission Board, Commissioners, and Executive Director, Taurus Lewis. And it reads, any ability may get you to the top, but it takes character to keep you there. John Wood.
A little bit more. One, two, three. One, two, three. One more. One, two, three.
You never sit on nobody's bench. That's one thing about people. I ain't never sit on nobody's bench.
You got him a free championship. Y'all crazy.
No, we gotta do the park. We doing the park, so we.
No, we're gonna just do, we'll get that in the normal. I gotta start the meeting. Right? Okay, thank you. All right. Hamilton wants me to change the agenda, but I will not do that. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and taking action so we can adopt the agenda for tonight's meeting, please?
Make a motion to adopt the agenda.
Second.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Christensen,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs.
Yes.
Commissioner Lapine,
Yes.
Commissioner Lindsey,
Yes.
Commissioner Mobley.
Yes.
Motion approved.
All right, so the next item is to approve the minutes from the last meeting, March 17th, 2025, our regular board meeting.
Make a motion to adopt the agenda from March 17th, 2025, regular board meeting.
Second.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Christensen,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
Yes.
Commissioner Lapine,
Yes.
Commissioner Lindsey,
Yes.
Commissioner Mobley.
Abstain.
Motion approved.
All right, so do we have any public input tonight?
We do not have any public input tonight.
Okay, so next will be our financial report. Ryan and Zana, our chief financial officer.
Good evening, Chair Lapine, members of the Commission Board. I'd like to begin tonight by providing you with an update on the general and enterprise fund financials for the period July 1, 2024 through March 31st, 2025. Total revenues for the general fund for the 9-month period were approximately $24.8 million. This comprised of a $5.1 million direct allocation from the state for a planned facility purchase. Remaining $19.6 million is derived from administrative and program operating revenues. Compared to $16.8 million in revenues this time last year, that represents an increase of approximately $2.8 million to operating revenues, or 16.9%. The bulk of this increase comes from the county's property tax allocation. Total allocation increased from last fiscal year. Additionally, grant revenues were up from last year as well, as we received funding for the Hopkins Pool project from HUD and the playground projects from PARD in the first half of the fiscal year. Additionally, program revenues have increased from this time last year. Program revenues for this period were $817,000 compared to $622,000 this time last year, represents approximately $195,000 increase in revenues, or 31.4%. Athletic and rec programming revenue, as well as youth camp revenue, were the largest drivers for this increase, as volume was up from prior year. General fund expenditures for this period were $14.4 million compared to $10.9 million this time last year, represents approximately 31.7% increase, or $3.5 million. The biggest driver for this increase would be salaries and fringe for a number of reasons. We did have the longevity payments that went out at the beginning of the fiscal year. We also had the COLA that went into effect last January. We also had increased seasonal hires to meet volume increases for our summer camps. We also had some filled vacancies, which all contributed to that increase at the beginning of fiscal year 24. In addition, we front-loaded some of our budgeted capital projects. The Hopkins Pool and Pool Building Project, final payment was made on the Kaufman Road Meadow Lake Park parking lot repairs, as well as the demolition and replacement of playground systems at Hopkins and Bluff Road. Linrick revenues for the current period were $812,000 compared to $807,000 this time last year, represents approximately $5,000 increase. Largest driver for this increase was Cart and Pro Shop rentals. Total enterprise fund expenditures for Linrick were $764,000 compared to $811,000 this time last year, represents approximately 5.8% decrease, or $47,000. Capital outlay was the largest driver for this decrease, as we had purchased a fairway mower in the first half of the fiscal year 24. Finally, the Wellness Center revenues for the current period were $1.07 million through March 31st. This includes $888,000 one-time funds received from the state. We also received funding due to RCRC at closing in the amount of $63,000. The remaining funding came from patrons and memberships. Wellness Center expenditures for this period were $264,000 through March 31st. The bulk of these expenses were capital improvement projects completed shortly after RCRC took ownership, chiefly the pool renovation that was done, as well as salary and fringe expense. Are there any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. All right, so the next item is our unfinished business, which is a motion to approve revisions of policy 8010 fee setting schedule. So I think Director Lewis is going to speak to us.
Good afternoon. We wanted to revisit, last month, I came before you to talk about possibly, increasing some fees, for RCRC for the upcoming fiscal year and beyond. And we're requesting that, those fees be approved by the board. Most of the fees range between $5 and up to $35 at the most. Especially for athletics programs, official fees has gone up. Uniforms and supplies fees are going up. And in order for us to continue to have effective programs and quality programs, we're going to have to slightly increase the fees to meet the needs of these certain activities in sports. On the community center side, fees are slightly going up due to expected increase in utilities, waters, electrical bills going up monthly. And also we are trying to increase our part-time salaries for the fiscal year 25-26. So we're going to need these increases to help offset some of the costs that we don't get from our budget. So I'm not sure if you all had the opportunity to review these from last month, but I am on behalf of my staff and leadership staff. We thoroughly spent a lot of time on these fees and try to make them as affordable as possible. But if you know, we're kind of dealing with some inflation across the country now, and things are going up drastically, but we also want to make sure that we can keep our programs and activities affordable for our patrons. So I'm asking that the board please move forward with approving these new fees.
So I think what we can do is make a motion to approve this, and then if there's any more discussion, we could follow with that. Is that right, Mayor Bob?
I make a motion to approve the new fee schedule for policy number 8010.
Second.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Christensen,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs.
Yes.
Commissioner Lapine,
Yes.
Commissioner Lindsey.
Yes.
Commissioner Mobley.
No.
Motion approved.
Thank you.
All right, so Taurus, we need to talk about this next one, new business. Motion to approve the manual and proposal.
Yes, we have attorney here to discuss this proposal particularly because they deal with a lot of legal things that we wasn't quite familiar with. So Lawrence office and Alexis, they did their due diligence along with us to make a few changes with our instructors contract. So I would like her to come up and kind of expand on that, please.
The primary change in all of these, we made a lot of little changes that weren't really substantive, but the main substantive change was that at some point, I believe the requirement that the independent contractors, the instructors, didn't have to have their own liability insurance in order to try to get, have a bigger pool of independent contractors. But just by definition, if these instructors are not employees of RCRC and they're not volunteers and they're independently paid, then they need to have their own liability insurance because RCRC's insurance would not cover them. So we added that requirement back in that all independent contractors have their own liability insurance. So that was really the biggest substantive change.
What amount?
What amount was in there? Was there a minimum?
It's $1 million liability insurance. That's standard for most agencies and most businesses.
That's what I paid.
And
Should
most
it
of the
stay-
instructors have, Again, to get their, liability insurance. Or whatever this means on this, as you see.
Can that be added
Does that $1 million need to be stated in the policy?
under D?
So there's 3 different ones that were edited. Ashley, correct me if I'm saying this wrong. The
Correct.
one's racket,
Correct.
and then there's just the general one, and then there's one for the wellness center.
That is correct.
And I believe that, I thought it was in all of them. Is it not? We can add that in if it's not the minimum
The
amount.
one I'm currently looking at says Richland County Recreation Commission Independent Contractor Manual and Proposal.
So generally, Alexis, when you get and maybe James can answer this, but when you got your insurance, James, did you have to name Richland County Recreation Commission as additional insured?
Yep.
So do you think we need that language to state, because generally when I do a contract of some sort, we're gonna say, get a policy to name the landlord additionally insured, blah, 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 for an amount note with the limits.
Yeah, we can spell that out in there. So if that language is not already in there, we'll say name them as an additional insured and put the $1 million minimum.
To be honest, you're not gonna keep instructors with $1 million insurance they got to pay out of their pocket. Like me, for instance, when I paid the $1 million, I had been here 20 years. But people who hadn't been here and just come on to be an instructor and ain't got but 5 people in their class, they don't want to spend no $1 million because that policy ain't cheap. When I got my policy, I had about maybe 20 people in my class, and I could afford my policy because my class paid for the policy. I didn't have to come out of my pocket. But people who ain't got no class and instructors, and they got to come out of their pocket every month for this $1 million policy, and they ain't making no money, they're not gonna stay.
I agree with, Commissioner Marley on that. That's why we encourage new instructors to ensure that you have some significant amount of participants to never, gross in your class. If you got 2 or 3 people, we're not gonna approve it anyway. And you want to build up your clientele in order to, participate for the reason for the program to 200 facilities. It's up to our discretion to determine whether or not we want the program anyway. So there's a lot of program proposals and things they have to go through a lot of red tape before we determine whether or not it's a valid program for RCRC. But to Mr. Marble, Commissioner Marble, defense, he was right. It's just 4 or 5 people. It's really not worth your time to do it. But we have some classes we got some nice participants in, and they're able to kind of take care of their liability insurance either every quarter or every month. So along with the business license as well.
So you're comfortable with the 1 million?
I am. It's the general liability amount.
Are we not requiring contractors to carry workers' comp?
No.
We're not, but we say explicitly in here that we're not providing it.
But are we gonna require the contractors to come in? I mean, if I came in with a team of 4 or 5 employees, who's covering that workers' comp?
Well, but if it's an independent contractor relationship, there's no employees.
Not on the employer, but if that employer has employees, they have to be covered by workers' comp.
Strictly to carry the insurance.
Yeah, but we say we're not having it, but whose workers' comp is that gonna fall under?
No, my point is, Tim, that like if, let's say you're teaching golf class, right? You gotta go get a business license for $25 and then you probably have to get a $300 or $400 insurance policy, right? And then that policy, and then you, Tim, are an independent contractor with Richland County. All those people that come in here,
No,
What-
I get that. The employer doesn't have to have the workers' comp policy, me. But if I go teach an instructor class and I bring 2 other people with me, they're employed by me.
well, that would be,
That'd be.
That
Yeah,
would be
but we should
between you-
require, every other contract I do, they require me to prove workers' comp and liability insurance.
Well,
Yeah, you
that
have
would
to
be
do
on
that,
the
like, if you
employee.
go, and work at Blue Cross Blue Shield, you gotta do that.
Every contract job I do, if I do any construction job or anything,
Yeah.
I gotta prove workers' comp and liability.
That's true, yeah. That's why I couldn't work at Blue Cross, cause I couldn't do it, yeah, so that's true, yeah.
I mean, is that something we need to,
I believe, and I can get back to you on that, but I believe that's to make sure that that person has confidence that they're not gonna come back and they're not gonna come back and try to sue them.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, so do we need to do that as well?
You're just saying that we're not going to provide it. I think I can look at that. I think requiring.
I think what happens is-
Make them that tougher.
no, but that makes it hard though, because we don't want to, I don't think we want to require that because then that gives us a relationship between us and the independent contractor. It's more of an employment situation, which it's not. But that's up to, but that if he is the independent contractor, it's up to him, whatever he wants to do with his employees. That's his business. So then he's saying though, which is a good point, is that if one of his employees is injured, they can't come back to us. They would have to go back to
Yeah.
him.
Right.
I think in this, I would be willing to bet that in those situations where you're required to show it, it's just that they're closing the loop, that they're making sure that there's.
That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at. If everybody else is making sure they close the loop, why can't we make sure we close the loop?
It's just gonna add another cost.
Yeah, to independent contractor.
Because by law, they don't have to provide workers' comp.
Right.
That instructor does not have to provide workers' comp. Even though your contracts might provide it, they don't have, it's not illegal.
Okay,
So you want us to look into it a little bit further?
yeah, every job, I mean, it's fine. I mean, if you all say we're fine, then if we're not gonna get sued, then every contract job I've ever had and every lawyer I've ever talked to says I've got to have workers' comp insurance.
Isn't that for a certain amount of employees?
Mm-mm. If I have one employee, I gotta have workers' comp on them. I don't have to have workers' comp on myself as the owner.
Okay, South Carolina is 4 or more employees. Do y'all have, does RCRC have that many instructors that have? Is that
I don't know. I mean, if,
James, do you have employees under you?
I don't consider my people, I had people work with me that when I didn't come, they would teach for me, but they ain't got nothing but whatever came from the class. They ain't got no money from me. They got whatever's in the class.
so they were contractors of yours.
But they were a contractor.
No, they weren't the contract. The contract was me. I was responsible for the contract.
Yeah.
So whatever they did was on their own.
Based on our staff, we don't have any, as of right now, any instructors that have additional employees. But not to say that couldn't change, so.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
It's interesting.
It was a good point.
Good point.
Oh,
It may not be an issue. I'm just saying.
It may not pertain to Richland County though, you know? Like when we first did it, we had to use no insurance. Richland County, we used Richland County insurance. Richland County gave us 70/30 and they took care of the insurance. So it's done changed now, so I don't know how it's gonna work back now, you know, cause, you know, back then, like I said, y'all did, I mean, Richland County did the insurance for us, all we needed was the contract.
Sir. We definitely can have Alexis to dive into it and we can bring it back and talk about it. But we need to try to move swiftly because the contracts July 1st, Ms. Reed? Yeah, July 1st, we need to kind of be ready for
Well,
this too.
Well, on that comment, I think that we're trying to, for the other commissioners here, we're trying to plan a budget workshop on May 1st, Thursday. Is that right?
2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from now at 10 a.m. to 12. So we could throw that in an agenda as a special call meeting, I guess,
Okay,
maybe before,
we can.
and then you go into that. If if we can figure out the answers to that.
I'm fine with tabling it till May 1st. And that'll give Alexis time to do some more due diligence for Mr. Chris.
I don't mean to stall anything. I was just asking a question. So if we want to vote, I'm okay with voting.
Contract's up in July.
Start news in July.
I mean, we can talk. I mean, go ahead. Yeah, are you all right with tabling this for 2 to 4 weeks?
If needed.
All right. Because I'm wrapping my arms around if we're trying to be independent contractors, then it's purely up to the person that's the contractor if he wants to have workman's comp. It has nothing to do with us.
Right.
If he chooses not to do that, then he's the one that's at risk.
Right.
And I would assume that our contracts, Alexis, state that it's an independent contractor relationship and they can't come back to us for it itself or any contractors of that contractor for any sort of legal action. But I don't know that. I'm making an assumption.
It says that in it. It says bears no responsibility.
Yeah.
It says RCRC bears no responsibility providing liability, workers' compensation insurance or unemployment insurance for instructors or their employee.
That's it.
Well, that's my concern is it says that, but if it says that, why do we have to put RCRC requires instructors to provide general liability insurance if 2 paragraphs down, we say we don't provide it?
For your contractors.
I know, but it says no responsibility for providing liability insurance. Why do we say we don't have to provide it, but two paragraphs before that, we say you have to get it?
Yeah.
Right, that's what I'm saying. RCRC requires instructors to provide commercial general liability insurance.
For
2
themselves.
paragraphs down, RCRC bears no responsibility for providing liability insurance.
Because we're not going to provide it to you. They would have to provide it for themselves.
But what I'm getting, and it also says workers,
Providing it for them, but they will undoubtedly sue RCRC.
right, I get that. If we're clearly stating we're not providing it, then why do we have to put, you have to have it?
Because they might sue you anyway, even though.
That's why I'm getting, and that's what brings me back to the workers' comp thing.
I think that's a good point that needs to be looked at.
Okay, then let's hold off.
Now, I think workers' comp is a little different. You can't get sued like you can for liability. Right. So, but let's check it out.
I think it's quite intensive.
Right.
All right.
We can table it.
Okay. So I would assume that we'll just stop conversation. Is there anything specifically to wellness or racket that is different than what we just discussed?
No.
Okay, then we're good. All right, we'll table that. All right. So there'll be no action on that item. Other business would be executive director report from Taurus Lewis, and then Kevin doing a community relations report.
For the executive director report, tomorrow at Hopkins Pool, we have the re-grand opening. Starts at 10:30 a.m. There will be light refreshment served after the ceremony. So those board members, or if you are available, please come and support. I think you all will be pleased with the new pool, the renovations, all the new features and stuff that has taken place down there. It's $1.2 million worth of work. Mr. Tony Cooper and Mr. Ryan and his team did an excellent job of facilitating this project. So we're excited about the Hopkins community being able to use the pool this year for many years to come. And we will assure that at least during my administration, that we will keep it up to par. The Wellness Center, as you see, we had to install Mr. George Pearson, our safety supervisor. We had to install a new fire panel over at the Wellness Center to get up to code. So he's been doing an excellent job going around to our facilities, ensuring that we're up to code with all our fire and alarm panels throughout the county. Agency update, our aquatics manager is Kareem Evans. He's now a certified water safety instructor training. This certification grant him the ability to train and certify water safety instructors. So from March 31st to April 4th, he was in Laura, Maryland, attending this certification, which helps us out a lot. Now we can start junior lifeguard program, and we have an in-house person that can certify lifeguards and keep their certifications up to par without having to go to Red Cross in different places. So that was a great investment on our behalf for Mr. Kareem Evans to be able to do so. The 6th annual Jazz Festival, for those of you that attended, you know, it was a great event held March 12th at North Springs Park. We had over 1,000 people to attend. Ticket buyers came from Arizona, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, Virginia, as well as Canada. We also had 25 counties outside of Richland County that had people come and buy tickets and enjoy the great vendors and food and live entertainment. We totaled a net sale of $34,294.09. So Ms. Lisa Lewis and her staff did an excellent job, along with the rest of the community relations and property management and all of those that participated to make sure that this was a successful event. Let's give our staff a round of applause. Easter egg hunt this past Sunday was Easter. Prior to that, our Parks and Community Center did an excellent job with hosting several Easter egg hunts throughout the county. Polo Road Park, Crane Creek, Gaston Community Center, Eastover Park, Bluff Road Park, Ridgewood Community Center, and Pine Grove Community Center all had Easter egg hunts for the community. It was great. I was able to attend about 3 of them. And they all, from what I saw on Facebook and Instagram, our social media stuff, they really did a great job with them.
I don't see Meadow Lake.
Well, that was our annual
Okay.
Cottontail Festival. I'll leave that to Mr. Crawford.
All right.
He don't want me stepping on his toes.
I'll make sure.
You done got me in trouble. Agency training, we will continue to do our annual training. First aid CPR training will continue for staff with upcoming dates in May. We have customer service, heat stress, driver training, all will be continuing this month as May as well. Ms. Brittany Singleton and her staff and HR and our risk manager, Ms. Camilla Sampson, are doing an excellent job ensuring that our staff is being certified to be able to be in our facilities. And lastly, our athletics, and I'm not sure, yeah, BJ is here. We had the opportunity to host the ISSA, that's the International Senior Softball Association tournament. Games were played at North Springs, Polo, and Kelly Mill Sports Complex. We had 52 teams from throughout the United States. They averaged about 14 players per team. That was a total of 728 players. All of them was out of the state. And the length of stay here in Columbia was a minimum of 3 days. And I believe, BJ, I'm correct, the age of from 60 to 95-year-olds. And we saw a lot of 60, 70, 80 active 90-year-old seniors playing softball at a really high and competitive level. That's crazy. They were very impressed with the Kelly Mill and North Springs and Polo athletics. Property management did an excellent job keeping the fields up. umpire was there. Ms. Reeves did a great job of getting food trucks and stuff out for hot food. And I believe they're looking to come back in August, and this time almost doubling up the teams.
Nice and cool.
If you get a chance, we definitely will let you all know about it in August. Please come see. I've seen a 95-year-old man can hit a softball. He can still stroke it. So they did a great job. So our senior population is very active, and they're well mounted, and they do a great job. So if you look at the back of the report, we include a report in here, the economic impact this had on Richland County for 6 days, and we're going to share this with county council to show the impact that this had in the county for 6 days. I think it started that Tuesday and went all the way until that Sunday, but a lot of them got in town that Monday. So athletics is working to secure some more hotels for the August and some restaurants, and we could get some block rates, because we want to show county council that we are putting heads in the bed with these type of tournaments. And when we go to them for some additional funding, we could justify it with things like this. So I want to give Mr. BJ and his staff a great hand for putting this event on. And that's conclude my report, unless you all have any questions or concerns for me. Mr. Crawford.
Good evening. On April 2nd, Tiffany Vanek, Community Engagement Professional with Center Wells Senior Primary Care, presented a Protect Yourself Against Scams to educate the Upper Richland seniors with information and ways to protect themselves from being taken advantage of against scams. Lunch was provided by Centerwell.
What was her name?
Miss Tiffany Vanek, am I saying that right?
I'm not sure.
Vanek. Miss Tiffany. All right. Miss Tiffany. Bras and Bow Ties was held at Blythewood Park Saturday, April 5th. Young men attended from the ages of 7 to 21. Cottontail Festival. A time was had at the 55th Annual Cottontail Festival. What an afternoon, full of games, crafts, fun, food, Easter egg hunts, and lots of candy. We cannot forget about a visit from the Peter Cottontail. Thank you, Mr. Rusty. Special shout out to our community partners, volunteers, and staff, as we could not have done this without you. RCRC hosts several Easter egg hunts. Saturday, April 12th at Polo Road, April 13th at Eastover Park, Bunny Hop at the creek at Crane Creek on Saturday, April 12th, and Gadsden Park on Wednesday, April 16th. Trenholm Park hosted the 9th Annual Palmetto Badminton Tournament on Saturday, April 12th and Sunday, April 13th. Purple Up, RCRC goes purple. In honor of Month of the Military Child, staff at RCRC wore purple to honor and support children who have a parent or parents that are currently serving in the U.S. Armed Forces. To all the military families in the community, know that you are valued and supported. Park Lane Adult Activity Center Tea Party on April 10th. Patrons at the Park Lane AAC were feeling very posh at the tea time party. Guests dressed in their fanciest garments and spent the afternoon learning the history of hot tea and etiquette, accompanied with scones, pastries, and other desserts. Children and adults enjoyed themselves at the Ridgewood Park on Saturday, April 19th at the Ridgewood Barony Neighborhood Association Easter Egg Hunt. The event was co-sponsored by the Richland County Recreation Commission. Gadsden Farm Festival on April 19th. Gadsden Park Community Center, the Farm Festival and Family Fun Day featured farming equipment, farm animals, gardening, and agricultural, plus food trucks, interactive activities, and several performances. Thank you, Commissioner Mobley, for your attendance. As far as the foundation, on March 24th, 2025, Richland County Recreation Foundation hosted the 2024-2025 Richland County High School Player of the Year for the girls basketball. celebrating the academic excellence, athleticism, leadership, good sportsmanship, and community involvement of 13 players across the county. Congratulations to Heath Woodhalls, Lauren Jacobs, winner of High School Player of the Year's basketball. Also, Jazz Fest. The vibes were on point at the 6th Annual Jazz Fest. Shout out to everyone who made this event possible, including the foundation, staff, volunteers, partners, and of course, our community. The funds raised to go provide scholarships for athletics, after school, and summer camps for families experiencing unexpected hardships. And Park of the Month is Bluff Road Park. Congratulations to Mr. Gregory Williams, Miss Cynthia Fleming, Miss Cynthia Fleming-Tyler. All right, and Community Center of the Month belongs to Garner's Ferry Adult Activity Center. Congratulations.
Just the staff. Yeah. Look. Telephone first, 1, 2, 3. On the cell phone. Camera. We get that now, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3. One more, 1, 2, 3.
All right, and our upcoming events are as follows. April 22nd, our ribbon cutting ceremony at Hopkins Park Pool. April 26th, Sweet Potato Festival at Hopkins Park Adult Activity Center. April 30th, Community Reintroduction Drop-In at Garner's Ferry Technology Center. May 7th, Mother's Day brunch at Ballantyne Community Center. Also, May 7th, a Mother's Love and Kindness celebration at Upper Richland Community Center. May 8th, Mother's Day brunch with attitude at North Springs Community Center. Also on May 8th, Mother's Day potluck brunch at Gaston Park Community Center. On May 9th, Legends Field Day at Middle Lake Park. May 12th, Trenholm Park Prime Time and Play at Trenholm Park. May 16th, Mother's Day Appreciation Banquet at Pine Grove Community Center. And in conclusion, May 17th, Staff Volunteer Opportunity at Harvest Hope Food Bank in Harvest Hope.
I have one additional project to announce.
Yes, ma'am.
In Hopkins Park, we had pour and paint last week, and Andre was our instructor. I just want to let everybody know it was really nice. I think we had about 19 or 20 people included. Very nice class. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, that concludes my time. Thank you all.
All right. well,
Chair Levine.
Yes, sir. So, oh, you want to say something else?
Yes, sir. I just wanted to acknowledge and thank you all as commissioner for your support, for coming out to our special events and community events as often as you do. It make the staff and the community feel great to see our leadership present. So we ask that you continue to support when you can, and we definitely appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Great job, everybody. All right, so can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Christensen,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs.
Yes.
Commissioner Lapine,
Yes.
Commissioner Lindsey,
Yes.
Commissioner Mobley.
Yes.
Motion approved, meeting adjourned.